as you can see, whether he know everything or not, he still is going to the right spot with the football. And everybody is saying, well, this is a guy that's not even taking check downs. He's throwing 20 yards down the field on a dig route. So it's not the processing of all of that. When the ball is snapped, when he on the field, he understands everything.
You think I'm worried about what critics say or what people got to say? You know who my dad is? They hated on him too. So it's like, it's almost normal. Without people hating, it's not normal for us.
Second team reps before, but today, interestingly, at least during one move the ball period, it was really one of the first move the ball periods that we've seen, the Browns actually had Shedeur Sanders go ahead of Dillon Gabriel.
More than 71% for his career. He completed 74% of his passes last year, despite being sacked about 42 times. Okay, 90 plus times over the 2 years that he was at Colorado. The brother can play.
Just a few weeks ago, Shedeur Sanders was being slept on, doubted, and straight up dismissed. But now, he just got promoted to first-team reps with the Cleveland Browns, and some people cannot handle it. From 5th-round draft pick to potential starter. The haters are fuming, analysts are scrambling, and Shedeur, he's just getting started. This is more than just a promotion. This is a football revolution in real time. Let's be real.
What is it going to take for you to just buy in to Shedeur Sanders when players all around him are telling you how different he looks, how good he looked, how he just has that aura to him? Because it seems like all the players that are around Shedeur Sanders have nothing but great things to say about him and love him. Because again, he clearly just looks different than the rest of the competition that we've seen. And like I said, the last time I've seen guys go for or, say things about a certain player like that, it was Baker Mayfield. So could 12 be that guy? How long until we see 12? Because I feel like it's just a matter of time.
Shedeur Sanders didn't come into the NFL with red carpet treatment. While other quarterbacks got the glitz and glamour of the first round, Shedeur slipped to the 5th. Critics said he didn't have the size, the speed, the pro-ready polish. Some called him a product of hype, riding the coattails of his Hall of Fame father, Deion Sanders. But those people clearly weren't watching the tape. Or maybe they just couldn't see past the glimmer of prime time. Shedeur's draft slide echoed the same doubt he faced when he transferred to Colorado to play for his dad. Remember all those, it's just a publicity stunt, takes? Well, just like in college, he put his head down and got to work. You know what they say, real talent doesn't just show up on game day. It reveals itself when no one's watching. That's exactly what happened behind the scenes at Brown's training camp.
I see some balls coming out of Shedeur Sanders at that camp, and I'm like, kind of looks like a guy.
Yeah, I'm reading.
He can sling it.
I see him, some of the veterans, how they talk to him, mic'd up, see what he's doing in the community.
You talking about Njoku there?
Njoku, Mike Napier. Once you see, different little interactions and things like that, I know he has the talent. We'll see. It'll be a competition that usually brings the best out of guys, especially young guys. So I'm interested to see how that quarterback situation.
I've heard he's been outstanding.
Where Shedeur Sanders didn't just impress, he silenced critics and stunned coaches. During early OTAs and mini camps, Shedeur wasn't even getting first-team reps. To some, that might have looked like a snub, maybe even a setback. But for Sanders, it was fuel. While other rookies might have hung their heads or gone through the motions, he kept his composure, stayed locked in, and made every rep count like it was the Super Bowl. One coach said, every snap had purpose. Every throw had a reason. That's rare, even for NFL veterans. Off camera, the buzz was growing. Coaches were pulling each other aside, whispering things like, have you seen what this kid is doing? One Browns assistant even claimed, in 15 years of coaching, I've never seen anything like this. That's a big statement in a league full of Heisman winners and first-round phenoms.
In the 5th round, all that means nothing when it's time to play football and that whistle blows. He looks different than the rest of the competition. That's what I heard. And I'm talking from not Brother Ward. I'm just talking about from sources that's in that room, that's on that field, that's playing the sport. Man, come on, man. In the 5th round, all that means nothing when it's time to play football and that whistle blows. He looks different than the rest of the competition.
But it wasn't just the arm strength or accuracy, it was the command he had. In one move the ball drill, the entire energy shifted when Shedeur stepped under center. It felt like the team suddenly leveled up. His passes weren't just hitting receivers, they were threading needles. The reads were fast, the throws were precise, his calm presence unshakable. And it wasn't just the technical side. Teammates noticed the swagger, the leadership, the quiet confidence that said, I'm not here to compete, I'm here to take over. Even in limited reps, Shedeur began to stand out in ways the coaching staff couldn't ignore. Then, during a pivotal practice period, the coaches made a bold move. They let him take the field ahead of Dillon Gabriel, the presumed frontrunner for the starting job. For anyone paying attention, this was the moment everything changed. You can fool media, you can even fool fans, but in the NFL, you can't fool veterans. That's why when seasoned players like Cornelius and Myles Garrett started publicly backing Shedeur Sanders,
they never planned on taking him. The problem is, like Ocho Cinco said, you got somebody that has endeared himself to the locker room. And guess what? The difference between him and Tim Tebow, the biggest one, is he can play. He can throw the ball. Tim Tebow running around being an H-back. He can throw the ball. And he's done everything he needs to do. He ain't saying nothing. He ain't rocking the boat. He ain't mad about the reps. He ain't mad about none of that. All the people out there want to see is this, like Tyver said earlier. We want to see what he can do with Jerry Jeudy.
That's it.
I want to see what he can do with David Njoku. I want to see him with Junkins. I want to see him with the first running backs. If you are cooking, if you are beating down the doors with the 3s and 4s, guess what? You deserve more. That was a bar. It rhymed. It was.
The narrative shifted fast. Let's be real. Respect in the locker room isn't handed out. It's earned. And Shedeur earned it fast. It started with small things. The way he showed up early to meetings. The way he stayed late after practice. The way he never complained about second-team reps, veterans noticed. They've seen plenty of rookies come in with hype, only to crack under pressure. Shedeur, he showed up like he'd already been there. Cornelius was one of the first to speak out. He didn't mince words. There's a hell of a competition going on, he said, but especially with Shedeur. Translation, this guy is different. It wasn't just what he said. It was how he said it. The tone, the body language, everything pointed to genuine admiration. Even the legendary Myles Garrett, one of the most respected leaders in the Browns locker room, had high praise. He said Shedeur shows up every day with a smile, ready to work, and carries himself with a focused calm that naturally draws people in. That's not just a compliment. That's locker room gold. And the relationships, they weren't just football deep. Shedeur was vibing with veterans, cracking jokes, earning handshakes, and getting the kind of respect that rookies usually wait years to receive. Players like David Njoku even started referencing Shedeur during community events and mic'd up moments fans rarely get to see, but teammates never forget. One of the Browns staffers even joked that with the way Shedeur's winning over the vets, his rookie dinner is going to be next level expensive. That might sound lighthearted, but in NFL circles, that's code for, we like you, and we respect you. And when the older guys, especially the ones who've seen dozens of young quarterbacks flame out, are vouching for your ability, that's not hype, that's confirmation. Every Cinderella story has that moment, the one where everything shifts. For Shedeur Sanders, that moment came quietly, then exploded. At one point not too long ago, Dillon Gabriel was seen as the Browns' top QB hopeful. His name was floated in early projections. The coaches gave him the early reps, the fans assumed he'd be the one leading the charge. Meanwhile, Shedeur, he was the 5th-round project, the kid with potential, but supposedly not ready yet. But something changed. First came the whispers, Shedeur looks sharp out there. Then came the media chatter, why isn't he getting more reps? Then, the coaching decision that flipped the script, Shedeur took first-team snaps ahead of Gabriel. In NFL terms, that's not just rotation, that's a message. From that moment on, it was clear, this was no longer a backup quarterback learning the ropes. This was a takeover in real time. The haters, oh, they were fuming. Comment sections lit up with hot takes. Some fans still clung to old narratives. He's not ready. Too much hype. Let's see him prove it first. But while they were arguing online, Shedeur was grinding in silence and climbing the depth chart. And the critics, even they had to eat their words. Sports writer Mary Cat, once one of the loudest skeptics, publicly acknowledged Shedeur's undeniable growth. She said his poise, work ethic, and consistency had earned him the right to take first-team reps. That's not just a backtrack, that's a full reversal. And then came the flood, analysts, former players, national broadcasters, even Stephen A. Smith weighed in. The brother can play, Smith declared, citing Shedeur's impressive stats. Over 71% completion rate across his college career. Over 74% in his final year, even while getting sacked 90+ times. The numbers didn't lie, and neither did his game. Former Packers star James Jones went even further. There's no one on the team as good as him, he said. Jones wasn't making a hopeful prediction, he was stating a fact. And just like that, the tide turned. The kid from Colorado was no longer a sleeper pick. He was the guy. And right about now, the haters are sweating. Social media timelines are full of receipts being pulled from the draft weekend, where critics said Shedeur would ride the bench at best. Some of the loudest voices in the media who previously dismissed him are now quiet. Real quiet. Even Mary Cat Cabot, who once scoffed at the idea of Shedeur climbing the QB chart, admitted on air, "I have to eat my words. He's done everything right." James Jones, former Super Bowl champ and current NFL analyst, recently went all in. He said, "He's the most ready quarterback on that roster right now. No question." Stephen A. Smith, he dropped the numbers. Career 71% completion, 74% last season while getting sacked a ridiculous 42 times. "The brother can play," Stephen said. And when Stephen A. is on your side, that means the narrative has shifted. Of course, a lot of the discussion centers around his dad, Deion "Primetime" Sanders. Shedeur's not just walking in his father's shadow, he's blazing a path of his own. But let's be honest, Prime's influence runs deep. Deion has always instilled a chip-on-your-shoulder mentality in his kids. That competitive fire, that ability to shut out the noise and rise in the big moments, straight from dad. Behind the scenes, insiders say Shedeur still FaceTimes his dad daily to talk football. The mentorship is real. Also worth noting, celebrities like Snoop Dogg and LeBron James have given Shedeur public shout-outs over the past year. His name has clout beyond football. You can't fake chemistry, and Shedeur is clicking with his squad. Multiple teammates have noted that his confidence never borders on arrogance. That's a delicate balance, especially for a guy with a famous last name. Off the field, Shedeur has been spotted attending Cavs games with teammates, showing up to community events, and even hitting up Cleveland's popular restaurants like Town Hall and Marble Room. Local influencers are already dubbing him the new face of Cleveland sports. Shedeur's rise mirrors what we're seeing across the NFL, young quarterbacks stepping up and flipping the script. Think Brock Purdy, think CJ Stroud. The league is shifting, and Shedeur is riding that wave. There's even buzz that his quick rise is reminiscent of Russell Wilson's rookie camp with Seattle, where he surprised everyone and took the starting job. History has a funny way of repeating itself. This isn't just about reps in practice. This is about a franchise looking for leadership, consistency, and playmaking. If Shedeur continues trending like this, we could be witnessing the birth of a new era for the Browns. His work ethic, attitude, and command of the huddle are setting the tone. He's not waiting his turn. He's taking it. So now the question becomes, is Shedeur Sanders ready to start for the Cleveland Browns? Has he done enough to jump the line? Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, one thing's for sure, Shedeur Sanders has forced his way into the conversation. And if this trajectory continues, we might be watching a star being born in real time. Drop your thoughts below. Is Shedeur the future of the Browns, or is this just the beginning of a bigger QB battle? Either way, one thing's clear, the haters better buckle up, because Shedeur Sanders is coming.